Good morning, boys and girls. Another day, another daily read aloud coming at you live from Miss Lorenz's office. Hey Milo. We have an exciting book for you today, yet again. Of course, I never don't deliver, I guess, is the way I would put that. But today's story is one that some of you might know. You definitely have heard one of the versions. So I have maybe 5 versions of this book. But it's changing all the time. And I know I read one of them to you guys already. So today's story is If You Give a Moose a Muffin. And I believe I read to you If You Give a Pig a Pancake. I believe it was Pig a Pancake. But there's also If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, which we can read. I also have If You Give a Cat a Cupcake, If You Give a Dog a Donut. So there's all these different stories about these animals and what happens if you give them a treat. And I always think they're so funny because the animals are so different. They all have very different personalities and they'll do very different things when you give them their little snack. So today we're going to read What Happens If You Give a Moose a Muffin. And it's written by Numeroff. I do really love these books. They make me laugh. I mean, just look how cute this moose is. And he's got these, oh, you know they're delicious. You can see the steam coming off of them. And they probably, oh, they smell so good. I just can't wait to eat them. So, let's get started. If you give a moose a muffin. If you give a moose a muffin, he'll want some jam to go with it. That sounds good. So you'll bring out some of your mother's homemade blackberry jam. I don't know how happy my mom would be if I ever brought a moose into my house. They're very, very big animals. I can't see them even fitting in my house, maybe, would probably be a stretch. When he's finished eating the muffin, he'll want another, and another, and another. When they're all gone, he'll ask you to make more. Think about it. Moose, they're really big, so they gotta eat a lot of food. So you can't just give him one muffin. He's gonna want a ton, right? To fill his belly. I like how nicely he's sitting at the table, though. That does make me chuckle a little. You'll have to go to the store to get some muffin mix. He'll want to go with you. When he opens the door and feels how chilly it is, he'll ask to borrow a sweater. Do moose wear sweaters? Maybe. I don't know. He is very, very delicate and polite for being a moose because moose are really, really big animals. And the way he sits and the way that he stands, you can tell that he's very just calm and polite and timid. I like him. When he puts the sweater on, he'll notice one of the buttons is loose. He'll ask you for a needle and thread. He'll start sewing. The button will remind him of the puppets his grandmother used to make. This has got to be a fantasy story, right? He's starting to make a mess. He's ripping the sweater. He's sitting on the table, which is knocking things over. He's starting to turn a lot like that pig that got into some mischief. So he'll ask for some old socks. He'll make sock puppets. When they're done, he'll want to put on a puppet show. He'll need some cardboard, and paints. I like his puppets though. He's got a moose, and it almost looks like the mouse from If You Give a Mouse a Cookie. Maybe they did that on purpose. Then he'll ask you to help make the scenery. Ooh, it means the backdrop, what it looks like in the back. Kind of looks like they're making a mess. When the scenery is finished, he'll get behind the couch, but his antlers will still stick out. So he'll ask for something to cover them up. You'll bring him a sheet from your bed. Look how cool their background turned out. Like a volcano and starry night sky and a big river, and little boy fell asleep. Must have taken a lot out of him. When he sees the sheet, he'll remember he wants to be a ghost for Halloween. He'll try it on and shout, "Boo!" It'll scare him so much, he'll knock over the paint. Ah! Look at him underneath the sheet. You see all of his legs and his antlers sticking out. Goofy moose. So he'll use the sheet to clean up the mess. Then he'll ask for some soap to wash it out. He'll probably want to hang the sheet up to dry. Looks like the little boy's mother's outside raking leaves. I hope she doesn't come inside. She would be pretty upset if she saw a moose cleaning her sheets. It'd be a little strange. He'll go outside to put it on the clothesline. When he's out in the yard, he'll see your mother's blackberry bushes. There they are. See if Mom spots him. Seeing the blackberries will remind him of her jam. Right? That was what he set out for this whole time. All he wanted was some jam on his muffins, and it turned into this whole mess. He'll probably ask you for some. And chances are, if you give him the jam, see them running away from their mother. Little boy probably doesn't want to get in trouble. He'll want a muffin to go with it. And then it starts all over again. The end. So, like I said, I love these stories because I think the author, Laura Numeroff, does an excellent job at really bringing these characters to life, right? Like, you could tell that our moose friend was this dainty, big goofball, right? So that's one of the reasons I really like him. But if you read the other books, the other animals have very different personalities, right? The pig is super mischievous. He's always up to something he's not supposed to be up to, and it tends to get him in trouble. Even the mouse is kind of that way too. He's like constantly all over the place. So it's kind of funny to see. The moose is a little bit like that, but he also has a little bit of a different personality to him. So for your book challenge today, I want you guys to do something similar to what we did to the pig book. Knowing how this character is and how he reacts to things, he doesn't quite cause a mischief like pig and mouse. Instead, he's very polite and delicate and dainty, and really is just a very good moose that just wanted some jam on his muffins. So if you think about that, if you were to give Moose a muffin, what do you think would happen? Pretend it's the end of the story, and they said he would probably want a muffin. Pretend you gave him the muffin, and what do you think would happen next? Maybe something different. Maybe instead of jam, this time he would ask for blueberries to put on his muffin or in his muffin. Maybe he didn't just want plain muffins. I don't know. So maybe you'd have to go to the store and make some chocolate chip muffins. Or maybe he wanted something like full breakfast to go with his muffins. So he wanted bacon and eggs and I don't know. Maybe he wants some tea. Maybe he wants some tea with his muffins. So that is your book challenge for today, to write about what you think would happen if you were to give your moose a muffin. And I'd love to hear and see what you guys come up with. So keep me posted and enjoy the read aloud. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. And that's all I have for you today. I'll be on again tomorrow with another read aloud for you. And I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's keep reading together. Bye, guys!